All right, so thank you guys for jumping on. I'm loving it that I see a bunch of new faces on here tonight. So most of you should know who I am. If not, my name is Lori Stewart, and I'm going to go through kind of the basics of getting you guys started as a coach, the foundations of how to build your business, and just kind of the top tips that you might need to know to get it jump started. Tomorrow night, we will go into more on going emerald, going diamond, what that means, how to get there, why you need to do it, and why you need to do it ASAP. So we will talk more about that kind of stuff tomorrow night. But as you are on here, if you have questions, go ahead and ask those. We have other leaders that are on here that are able to answer those. So as I'm talking and something pops up, don't wait, because I don't want you to forget it. Go ahead and type it in the chat bar. If someone doesn't respond, then we'll answer those at the end. Sound good? All right, so I'm going to jump right in and share my screen. And I'm just going to kind of talk to you guys. So if you don't know, I have now been doing this coaching thing for 7 years. And what's crazy is that I still love this as much as I did in the beginning, but I feel like I love it more now because I know the opportunity out there. The frustrating thing is not that this business doesn't work. It's not that the opportunities aren't there. It's not that people don't believe in it, but they don't believe in themselves. And so my goal is for you to have that belief in you, to know that not only you can do this, but you can rock the shit out of this and be successful in this business. But first of all, you need to understand kind of the basics, and you need to believe in yourself and that these are things that you can accomplish. So this is a picture from our last little get together that we had at our coaching summit. And so this is something that you need to plan. If you are planning on working this business, you need to go to the event section and go to all the events, because as you see, we're doing this virtually. The connections really happen and the magic happens when you show up to events. We have them quarterly, you'll have them local in your area, and then we have a once a year coach summit. If you're a new coach, we're going to talk about how you can earn your free ticket to get there. And then we have reward trips that you can also earn too, based on the amount of people that you help. So this is just a little piece of our team, and I love them. So we're excited to help you guys learn how to launch your fitness business. Now, Danielle, I see you on my main page. Can you see this? Danielle? Okay. So first things first is that I want to get you guys started off right. And so understanding what you need to do. If you're like, okay, I'm all signed up, now what do I do? So if you are a coach of mine, you should have received an email, and it would have had some little action steps to go through. It's a list, but it's just little simple things that you need to go through. It's like going to the coach, university, setting up your EFT, little things like that. But the first job is for you to focus on you. Your job is now for you to show up, for you to get to know the products, for you to use them, and for you to understand them, because ultimately you come first in this. I don't care what you do with this business. If you don't fall in love with it, if you don't find results, if you don't find a love and a passion for it, then it's not going to work, because I would be doing this even if I weren't a coach. That was when I really realized that I was all in, because I loved the workouts this much. I loved the products. I loved the community. And I was like, you know what? I'd still be talking about this even if I didn't get paid for it. And again, that's why I don't understand why people don't become coaches, because we share the things that we love all day long. We share about restaurants we go to, places we shop at, makeup we love, all the things. But then we start to feel weird about sharing this. This should not be any different. This is going to be something so passionate to you that it's like a no-brainer to talk about it, because it's just another piece, another part of your day. So getting to know the products, knowing your shakes, why you drink them, why you love them, what makes it easier, how it's saving you money, how it's saving you time. So get to know all the things that you're doing. Did you try out Energize and you're like, oh my God, I love it. This is how it compares to these other things that I used to do. I've been using the collagen. I've noticed my hair and my skin is amazing and it's growing. I'm doing the extra digestive boost. You've had a lot of digestive problems and tummy issues, and you're noticing, a difference. So it's getting to know the products and loving them, okay? And then what I just kind of mentioned, it's telling people about the products and the lifestyle. So since this is now something that you joined this because most likely you had a goal, a personal goal, regardless of the business side. Most people join for a personal reason, because you're not happy where you're at and you have somewhere that you want to get to. So as you are working on yourself, it is just a natural thing that you're going to tell people about the products. You're going to tell people about the lifestyle. You're going to tell them, oh my God, it's so much easier. I don't have to pack my kids up and take them to the gym. Some people live where it's 20 degrees outside, and I can't imagine having to do that in the wintertime. So you're talking about this lifestyle, how convenient it is to just walk into another room, how convenient it is to not have to pack the kids up, how easy it is to do it as soon as you get off work and not have to go to a busy gym, how you love that you don't have to feel like you need to get dressed up and get cute. You know, this is about understanding the products and the lifestyle and telling people about it. And then the cool thing, you get to help them the exact same way that you did. So when people are like, oh, I'm nervous about telling people to get a package, most likely that's how you started. So you shouldn't feel weird. You're going to help them get started the same way you do. And so when you're talking to people about it, that's exactly what you say. And they're like, well, what do I need to do? Well, this is how I got started, and I'll get you started the exact same way I did. You guys, as you know, there's no extra like tricks to this. There's no extra fees. You're not having to buy into something. You're getting the stuff that you use. Whether you join as a coach or whether you join as a customer, you pay the same price, right? But there's extra perks and discounts for joining as a coach. So as we're getting people signed up, you can say, hey, like, I can get you going with this. You can tell them about it and why it's amazing. And oh, by the way, like, if you have any friends that want to join, you can get a $50, kickback on getting them to sign up with you. I wish I would have been told that from the very beginning, because I didn't understand that. I would have started doing the business side a whole lot sooner, but I didn't get it. So as you are connecting with your people to get started, let them know that they can also help other people, that they can also get a kickback, that they can also, get a payment from this, because most likely people love getting a coupon, but they also love getting a referral. You can reword it any way you want, but they're getting a referral for somebody getting started. And it's not that they have to coach. It's not that you have to coach. We have the groups, we have the trainings, we have everything set up. So all you're doing is being a product of the product, sharing it with people, helping them get started, and then you're plugging them in the same group that you're already active in and doing, that we are taking care of and running. So what you're doing is you're locking arms and helping other people, and you're running with them at the same time. Does that make sense? You're showing up for you is what is going to motivate others to do the same. One thing I hear all the time is, I'm not at my goal weight. I'm not ready to be a coach yet. I'm not asking you to be a coach. We're not asking you to be at your goal weight. But the most inspiring piece of this is during the race. When you're cheering your team on through the playoffs, when you're cheering them on, waiting for them to get that score, it's more fun to watch them win and do it alongside of them than to just cheer them on for winning at the end. Do you understand like that thought process of people want to do this with you because they relate to that, they connect to that. And that is so much more fun than waiting for someone to get to the end and get results and be like, oh, by the way, I did this. They want to see you in the struggle. They want to see how you're doing it, how you're working it. So we're going to talk a little more about that. All right. So how are the ways that we get you going? So you guys have so many resources. So I'm going to show you guys some screens of our Coach Online office, of our team page. We'll talk about the Coach FAQ, which is if you have like a business question, like trying to understand what a rank is, what placement is, or what is the deal with this program. You can pretty much look all of that stuff there. And then the top place for you to get your questions answered, YouTube and Google. I'm telling you guys, I didn't have training like this when we started. I had to learn pretty much everything through YouTube. I Googled a lot. I followed all the other top coaches trying to figure out what they were doing and how. So when we say that you have everything you need at your fingertips, like you literally do. If you haven't joined the New Coach Training University, we have that as well for just getting you guys started. And then we're also going to be kicking off kind of an action item, an action-based group. So it's going to be in conjunction with that to really just make sure that you're taking those action steps to build your business. But what I want to do is I'm going to share my other screen so that you can see some of these places to go and some of the resources that you have. All right, so if you go into our coaching page, so most of you should already be in there. You should already be familiar with it. But if you didn't know, there's this little section called units, announcements, events, files. All of this has detailed information. So Courtney, do you see this team page? Okay, just making sure I switch screens. Y'all saw it. So if you click on the announcements, this is like a perfect place to get started. So if you're adding in coaches and you're like, oh, I'm not really sure what to do, you can send them the email that I sent you and say, hey, this is what my coach sent me. I just got started. I don't have my own. Or reword it to make it your own. But once you get someone to join, this is a great place for not only you to start, but for you to add, tag your people that are joining, just to give them the steps of like, okay, what do I do first? What is, I don't know what to do. So this is a great place to go just to get started. And then it also has the direct link to the new coach training, and we have a web-based. So for people that don't really get online much or on Facebook, some people are firewalled at work. So this gives you a web-based option to do that as well. The other place is the units. So this is a great option for someone that's getting started, wanting to know, okay, this is new coaches start here. Like if you're trying to figure out morning meltdown information, how to post about it, just the guides, you go there. If you're like, okay, I don't really know social media, you can go into this unit that has additional training. We have this one that has additional back office. So maybe we've added some videos in there. You have a question about how to set up a share card. You're trying to send someone a package. So you would go there. So there's so many different ones, business growth, training and tools. So use these as you need to. And what's really cool about this, the group options, is let's say you're like, I want to go Emerald. I heard you mention that. I don't know what it is. Type in Emerald in the search and everything will come up. Let's say you have someone that says, I want to know about, can I nurse and take the pre-workout? You can type in like nursing or breastfeeding or something. And most likely there will be someone with a question at some point that's going to be in there. So this is a really great, and then of course you can always just ask a question in there. The other part is in the files section. There is so much. We have scripts. So if you're trying to figure out how to talk to somebody about a program, one of the things that we're going to talk about is the National Wake Up Call. So this was just like a recap of some of the notes that he had on there. Like, let's say you're trying to figure out some things to post about, you want to run free groups. I mean, like there is so much stuff. And so that's when I say sometimes it's so much that this can be overwhelming, but I want to make sure, I would rather you have too much information than to have not enough, because you can never ever say this business didn't work because we didn't help you, because you have every single thing that you need. So if you just can't find it, or like you're just super confused, that's what we're here for. We're here to help you figure all this out. So this is a great tool. And then the last place is we're going to go to the photo album section, not the photos, but we want to click on albums. So there's some kind of like important pictures in here. And some of the stuff, I mean, does need to be updated, but I mean, like if you're thinking, okay, I don't know what to post about, here, these are things that you could talk about every day. Make a Motivation Monday, a Transformation Tuesday. This has business ideas. So if you're trying to figure out, you're like, I want to get to Diamond. How do I get there? This is a little roadmap. There's social media postings. I mean, there's just, again, tons and tons of stuff. So that is a great place. And then, of course, if you click where it says click here, most people don't, click there. This is filled with topics. How to get started, a new coach checklist, our new training, a kickoff call. So let's say you have someone join, obviously they didn't get to make on this call, you can tag them in this and it has a place for them to start as well. So this is just, again, tons and tons of information and helpful tips. And a lot of it just kind of refers back to the places in the files section, the photo albums and things like that. Does that make sense? Everything in there? Okay. Now, if you've clicked on the Coach University, you should automatically be approved when you click to join in that. And then all you want to do is go to the unit section and you just start with day number 1. And then you go through with this at your own pace. I was the type that I wanted to know everything all at once. So we used to have this set up to where we would do one thing a day. But what I found was people were kind of like getting tired of it, or they wanted more. So what we found is by doing a self-paced training, you can decide at what rate you want to do this. If you're someone you're like, I want to be all in, I want to run, I want to go, you might be someone that's going to be sitting at work and you have your headphones on and you're going to listen to all these trainings in the same day. So it's always great to come back and do kind of refreshers, but this just lets you know where to start and what to do, and great topics to get your business jump started. Okay, so let's go into our coach office. So when you log in, you're going to be like, I don't know what to do, but I'm going to show you some information on here that's going to be really helpful for you to understand, not only for your business personally, but as it begins to grow. So obviously your coach ID number, you absolutely need that, and you need to memorize that. This is my 4th business center. So basically I have signed up as a coach underneath myself multiple times. I franchised myself because of ranks that we've gotten into this business. So if you're like, what is Lori for? No, I don't get it. That's what this is. So my 4th business center is a 1-star diamond. It has my join date, but this is what is really important. So if you see where this says current status and projected status, this is staying active. So as a coach and wanting to grow and build, you have to be active. If you're not active, you will not hold your rank. So being active means you have at least 50 personal volume points. And volume points come from the products that you're using. So if you're ordering Shakeology, if you are using the Energize, if you're using anything, that contributes towards those points. And what projected means, it means that, okay, let's say that I'm active this week, but I'm supposed to have like something come out soon and it's not. Well, that's saying that I'm projected to be inactive by the end of this week. And if you drop rank, you're going to lose out on volume, you lose out on commissions, you lose out on a lot of things. So we don't want that to happen. We want you to stay active. And if your coach is someone that's working towards a rank or rank qualification, every single person counts towards that. So that's why it's also important to understand that. Now, this will tell you about Success Club, which is something we're going to talk about that is super important that you need to do every single month. This should be a no matter what. And I believe I have now hit 81 consecutive months of earning Success Club since I've started this business. It's just basically like if I had to knock on doors to make it happen, I would do that, because to me, it's just like that is my business standard that someone has set for me. And if I were to still be working in my corporate job and they had my set standards of what I had to do every month, if I didn't do it, my job performance rating would not be acceptable. I would probably get fired. And so I thought about it in that way to say, okay, this is my minimum business standard. And if I can't meet this, then I'm not doing my job. So every month, that's my goal, is 10. But I knew that I wanted to grow at a higher rate, so my actual goal is bigger than that. But what you want to make sure is that once you get those points, you see that it says qualified. This is currently 0 and not qualified because since it's my 4th business center, everything rolls up to my 1st. But as you get points, you'll see that there. And earning the qualification, we'll talk about this in a minute, not only gets you free customers, it gets you free commission, but it also will qualify you to go on a trip. So like I saw Jennifer on here, she has been a coach, like killing it this year. And last month she got an opportunity to come on our next reward Success Club trip. And that is in Punta Cana, and it's going to be completely paid for because she, as a new coach, and just as a coach in general, was working and building her business. So it's very important that we do that. And then always have yes by share contact info because you want to get emails from us. Like, duh, why not? Otherwise, it'll say do not contact, and then you're going to be like, well, why didn't I get that update? Why didn't I get invited? Why didn't I whatever? So you want to make sure that you have that on yes. Okay. So the other thing that is going to be important is this coach breaking news. So this is going to be about all the things that are coming out, all of the news. So like we got collagen, telling you all the sales. And this is what's also cool. So if you didn't know, Earning Success Club, you guys are going to get free things. So not only if you qualify for Success Club, I'll talk about the Success Starter program, but the first month that you qualify, you're going to get a t-shirt. And so let's say you want to try to earn it for the rest of this year and you want the backpack. Well, that's your chance. Like you work the rest of the year. I guess that would be 5 months. So you at least get the Beachbody Monopoly game. But the point is we have little things every month that you can qualify to get. And then I do random giveaways on certain months because sometimes people expect it. And so I like to do it when it's unexpected. I'll send stuff out for people that did qualify. Now, as you begin to grow your business, you're going to see these alerts over here. So, for example, this one says new coaches. So when you sign up a coach, you're going to see it in the new PS coach sign up or in there, but you'll see where it says new coaches here. And this is the cool part, and this is where you can see who is contributing to your business. So when we talk about the team in Team Beachbody, all of these people, if you see, there's my name. I signed up one person out of this list. But all of these other people were ones that added coaches. So what's cool about that is these are people that are contributing towards my success. I want everyone on our team to succeed because they're also contributing to yours and to Michelle's and to Courtney's. And so, you know, it's like whoever's you're seeing in that name, you want them to win because the more that they do, the more that you're going to benefit from that. The more that you do, they're going to benefit. So that is where when people are like, oh, that's a pyramid scheme. No, it's not, because we have the opportunity to benefit from each other. And you have the ability to be more successful than the person above you if you're willing to put in the work to get there. But this tells you all about that. So some of these tabs at the top that are really important is going to be this monitor my business. So we're going to go there. So make sure that you set up first my EFT management. This will be your direct deposit. The way that our weeks run, it runs from Thursday through Wednesday. So we're going to talk tomorrow night, which is Wednesday night, about going Emerald. Basically, I'm going to tell you what this is. It's you and two people, your best friend and your husband, your sister, your homegirl that lives across the street, the one that's the desk across from you, the ones that you go walking at lunch with. You're going to go to them and be like, girl, I'm doing this. You're going to need to sign up and do this with me. Like, let's get this together. That's how easy it can be, but we so overcomplicate it. But when you do that and you get them signed up, you're going to get commission. So if you did that tomorrow, that's Wednesday. On Thursday, you're going to wake up possibly as a new rank because you've added new coaches, but then you'll also have commissions. And so I'm going to click on here. Where does it say earnings and commissions? This tells you the income that I made last week, but what happens is it doesn't get paid out to the following Thursday. Do you guys see this? It's just one of my business centers. And so the cool thing is, and what we were talking about, part of this, a lot of this income comes from retail. But you can't create a multiple six-figure business off retail alone. It comes from your residual income, and that is from the volume from those people that you saw in there, the ones that signed up coaches and the people that you're signing up and the success that they have. That is where the main income comes from. So this team bonus right here, I didn't do anything other than hold my rank and help other people get started. And then those coaches probably got people started. So I earned an income based off that volume. And we're going to talk about all that later. But if you see, this was my commissions from last week. So then my direct deposit on Thursday, that's what I'll get. So it's kind of like a wheat link. So it's like turning in your timesheet and then you get paid out the following week. So then on the volume, this is the other really big screen that I use a lot. So this tells you the volume that I have week to week. So total PV is my personal sales. So this is things that I had my personal customers order from me or things that I ordered from myself. Anything that you see in there is part of your active status. So if you are signing up your spouse or somebody and they had orders underneath them, that considers them active. It doesn't have to be a personal order, but you have to just have some type of volume. Now, the way that we get paid out is the volume from this LVRV. And it's going to be really confusing, so I'm not going to go into too much detail about that. We'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. But just know that you need to build volume, and to really build an income, you need to build a team. You can add people that just want to do this for the discount, and you'll do fine. That's how I got started. It was a little slower, but if you want to build at a quicker rate, you have to build a team with that. You have to get people signed up that also want to help get their friends signed up and make a difference. And again, it might take you a long time to get there. You may not have people that are ready to build, but that's okay. You're still making a difference, because even if you sign people up as coaches, you're helping them to save money, you're helping them to get good results, you're helping them to use their products longer. And a lot of our best coaches just come from people who just wanted to get healthy and get fit until they realized, oh my God, I'm obsessed with this. That was me. So this is a really important screen, and you can click on anything that's highlighted to see all the details about what it was, what the order was, where it came from, all that. Okay. The other really important screen that you're going to want to know is sponsorship drill down. All of these are important for different reasons, but the sponsorship drill down and the preferred placement are going to be the two ones that I want you to make sure you use. Preferred placement, so when you're going to your first rank, you have to have an active coach on the left side and the right side. And the way that you get those on each side is by choosing your placement. We have a training that we'll talk about on where you want to place your spouse based on the volume, based on your weak leg, strong leg, kind of things. And again, I'll explain all that later. But this is how you select what that placement is and where you want that person to go. In the beginning, you're just going to go back and forth, left and right, until you get to a certain point that you just add everybody to the same side. And then sponsorship drill down. This is the screen. So I showed you guys the one where it said new coaches in your organization. That is for every single person underneath you. But this is the one of just the people that you've personally signed up. So you can see what they're doing. You can see their volume. You can see where they're at. You can click open, see their coaches, what they're doing. So this is a really important screen to be able to understand as you get bigger, because as you're tracking yourself to go to the next rank, you're going to be like, okay, I need to go diamond. How many active coaches do I have? What am I doing? Okay. And I know that I'm trying to go through this really fast, but I feel like these are important that we kind of don't focus on, but I want you to get it. So growing my business. This one is another really, really important one. And again, the point of this one is how do you grow your business? So this gives you all of the tools that you need. So if you're like, I want to run a challenge group, but I don't want to be in yours, that's okay. There's people like that, I promise. It doesn't hurt my feelings. I mean, it might hurt my feelings a little bit, but it's good. So you can click on these challenge group guides. And again, we did not have this when I started. I had to pull things out my butt. Like I had to go to Google and be like, how do I feel today? Let me type that in. And I would have to research and create posts on my own. But now we have this really cool thing that gives you posts to put up based on the program that you're doing. And you can just use this as kind of like a skeleton guide. Always, she always finds her way in here. You can just use this as a skeleton guide for, no, wait, I'm done. Because I said so, you're being rude. You can use this as a skeleton guide for kind of like getting started and what to do. This also will talk about the My Challenge Tracker. So we have a challenge group that's on Facebook, and then I always have a challenge group that's off Facebook because a lot of people now with Instagram and the other platforms, they don't use it. And so this will tell you how to use all of that, but you would just click on here. Like let's say you wanted to do a quick group, you're using a Little Obsessed, it'll literally tell you what to post in the picture every day, okay? Then some of the other super awesome. In this is you can go to product tools and shareable media. This will talk about all of the things that Beachbody has. So you can find videos, you can find product toolkits. So like if you're wanting to do morning meltdown, you're like, I don't really get it. You can go in here and it tells you every single thing about every single program, okay? You can do this the same. If you're like, I don't really get what Shakeology is, I just know I like it, you can go in here and read about it. And I'm going to tell you guys, you don't need to memorize the ingredients. I've been doing this now 7 years. I could probably think of 3, and it's only because I remember them from the videos. I mean, like, obviously I know more, but people aren't going to be like, what are the ingredients? They're going to want to know if it works, why you love it, and just reminding them that it's guaranteed. Like, if you don't like it, send it back, you know. So it has that for all the programs in here. The other thing is this coach link generator. That's really cool, and I love this for sending quick things like, you know, people are like, oh, I want to know about your pre-workout. However, I don't use that rarely ever anymore. The reason being is that if someone signed up for a free account 5 years ago, they don't remember who their coach is, and I just send them a link, the coach that they had previously signed up with that they probably don't even know that they have is going to get credit for that. And I want to make sure that I'm their coach. I want to make sure that I see their order. I want to make sure that I get them plugged into their group. Because I don't care if someone buys a package or if they just buy some Energize, you are now my person, and it is now my job to help you get results. So if you're just running and using my Energize, cool, you're going to get plugged into my group if you want to be, and I'm going to add you in there. So we're going to use the share a card option. There's a video in that announcement section in our team page that kind of walks you through exactly how to do it. So easy. You just get their email, you fill if they're going to be a customer or coach, you find the product, you send it to them, you copy the link, and you send the link to them because sometimes it goes to their junk. That's it. And so most of you probably got started with that same way. And that ensures that you're getting them set up with the right program, the right products, the right things that they want through that. The other thing, so remember when I talked about the events, like making sure you get to events, this is where you can find out where everything is at, what's going on in your area, and what you need to be at. So make sure you go there and check that out. And then here's also a training. So you probably got an email from me. You also got an email from Beachbody saying to do this first 30 and 30. So this is definitely important, definitely helps you, but this is also just additional training, and they're always creating new training. And again, we didn't have this when I started. So this is really good stuff. It'll teach you about the Success Club system. And so one of the things that you'll hear us talking about is the Success Club business. Well, they call it the Success Club System Activity Tracker. So this will help you to understand, like, if you're like, I don't really know what to do, it gives you action items of things to do. We also, again, have this in our files section with some additional tools that you can use to make it a little bit easier. I think I saw. Oh, y'all are chatting and I'm just talking away. Okay, so Jen and first on that. Okay, so we're going to talk. So I think I went over like the main pieces of this, but just know there's a ton of information here. And if all else fails and you're like, I don't really know where this is at, come to the support, go to the FAQ, search for it there. But this will also help you to see a lot of things. Oh, and by the way, if you're military or if you sign up someone that's military, you would go in here to get their military forms. You would go in here, like let's say you sign someone up and they put in the wrong spot. Let's say you have someone that's got a coach, they don't know who they are, and they want to switch to you. There's all these things in here. Again, there's so much information, so you don't have to know this all at once. Just know that it's here. And if you can't find it, go to where that FAQ was and just type it in, and it'll give you some helpful suggestions, and you should be able to find it. And if not, of course, always ask us. So, oh, that was a lot. But I just feel like when I don't cover this, then like I'm not being helpful. Okay. So now we're going to go back. So that was just covering, oopsies, where did I go? Okay. Michelle, I see you. Do you see the training screen again? Okay. So the other thing that you guys want to make sure that you add to your schedules is the National Wake Up Call that comes on every single Monday at 10 o'clock live. You can listen to it recorded. You can listen to it on the podcast, but I don't care where you listen to it as long as you listen. And a lot of times if your business isn't growing, the first things that we're going to ask is, you know, what are you doing for personal development? And are you going to be showing up to calls? And we see who's on the call, so we know. So listen to these. They take the top coaches in the company. They have them share their top tips. You might take a ton of things away. You might say, ooh, I like that one idea. I'm going to take that. It's not to make you redo your business, but just to show you other people and what they're doing. And then we have our team training calls. Generally, we partner up with my coach because I feel like it is just, there's such good content that she has. And then I will stick to doing like our trainings and then our Emerald trainings, and then we're going to be working on some other stuff. So always check the event section for everything that's going on, and you'll find all the details back there. Okay. So let's talk about the 4 vital behaviors. So I've told you, you know, your first job is about focusing on you. We've talked about the things in the back office, but now if you're like, what is it that I have to do? These are the 4 vital behaviors. Just like the organs in your body, if your heart isn't working, the rest of your body's not going to work. If you got a lung that's collapsed, you know, something's going to fail. If your liver goes out, like, I don't know, I'm not a nurse, but I know that these are vital organs that you have to have for survival. This is the same with your business. If you're not doing one of these, you're going to see it suffer. So number 1 is being proof that products work. I don't expect you to have like dramatic weight loss results, but I expect you to notice a difference. I expect you to feel a difference. I expect you to show up. I expect you to be trying to be a better person than you were the day before. And for some people, they're like, oh, I've stayed the same weight. Okay, well, that's still a win. That's still a win, especially if you're going through stuff that's stressful. You're showing up, you're showing people that you're committed, you're showing people that you're focusing on yourself, and you're focusing on your health. So be proof that the products work. It can work in so many different ways for you. Okay, so that's the important piece is no, it's not about what somebody is doing for somebody else. It's about what it's doing for you. Number 2, share, connect, and invite. What did we talk about in the beginning? You have to talk about it. You have to now become a social media influencer. That is what you are. You are here to share your journey on social media. If you're like, oh, I'm not so good at that, then you need to go talk to people face to face. I personally do not like that. Still to this day, I would rather like pull my eyeballs out than go to like a meeting where I have to talk to people face to face. That's not my thing. That's not my comfort. But I've worked myself up to where I can talk online to anybody because I treat everyone like they're my friend. If they're following me, if they're connecting with me, you're my girl. So I'm going to talk to you as such. But what you have to do is you have to show up and you have to start conversations. We have a lot of like just little trainings on how to connect to people. We have this, it's called 5-3-1 method, where you're going to go and you're going to find people on social media, specifically Instagram is where this works at, that are like you, that you're like, oh, she would be my girl in real life. Like, I could totally see myself hanging out with her. Like, oh, I could totally see myself having play dates. You know, whatever your thing is, you want to find people that are just like you. And so you compliment them. You like on their pictures. You conversate with them. Ask them a question that helps people to respond. And you just build really genuine relationships. And then what happens is that you're going to eventually start to invite them to join you, okay? But the number 3, and this is probably the one that people do the least, is the personal development. Guys, 10 minutes a day doing this will change your life. Because while I had amazing results physically, the change that I had from doing personal development changed me more than anything. It changes the way that you respond. It changes the way that you react. It changes the way that you think. And it changes just the way that you perceive life. So you want to have a positive outlook. You want to have belief. And a lot of times we don't have that when we start. It's fine. A lot of times we don't have that when we start. And so the personal development helps us to build up the places maybe that we're lacking, or helps us to be better in the things that we're already doing right. So if you don't know what to do, we have in the file section some suggestions, and do it based on what you need. So while this group that's coming up, I don't know if most of you might know this, we're going to run kind of like an action-based group, and we're going to all be reading the same book. That's the book we're reading for this group, period. Yeah, it's The Slight Edge. It is so good. But let's say you're like, oh, I'm really lacking confidence. I'm really lacking leadership skills. I'm really needing to work on organization. You can still do your own book, but for that group, we're doing this book. Normally, I'll say, figure out what you need and work on that. And if you're like, I need help suggestions with this, ask, and you will have people that come up with tons of things. I'm going to tell you this. I don't like to read. So I do Audible, and I love it. And Jamie's not on here, but Jamie had this app that she was telling me about, where it's like unlimited books that you can listen to. And so I'll have to go ask her what that is. But I don't care what you do, do something. And that is outside of the calls that we come on, the National Wake Up Call. This is 10 minutes of your own time. And so if you're doing Morning Meltdown, you know, we talk about doing the B100 book and taking time to yourself. I challenge you to take that time and add that 10 minutes into your routine. So what I normally do is I take my pre-workout and I would come and sit at my desk, and sometimes it was a good thing, sometimes it'd be bad. I had to learn not to turn my social media or my computer on, but I would sit down and I would read my books, or I would listen to them, or I have them back here, you see behind me, stacks of them. I don't enjoy reading, but I'll do it, right? So that 10 minutes a day at least. And then what I find is when I'm in the car, I listen to Audible. When I'm doing the dishes, I'll listen to the Audible. You can do, fun. You can do, whatever. So all of that other stuff on your own time. Emily said she went to her local library and checked out. Oh, see, that's a great idea. Yes, and I actually even turn on the National Wake Up Call when I'm in the shower and listen to it then. But what I find is I actually don't want to do that because I want to take notes. So anyway, find a place that works for you. And then the fourth vital behavior is recognition. And we really try to make a point to make you guys feel recognized. So that is why we take the time out to do all those recognition sheets. So even if you got 1 point, there's sometimes when we're like, no, you got to meet your, help 5 people a month to be recognized. But the thing is, you're doing something. You're changing someone's life, and that point represents a person. And so even if you're just helping one person get some energy in their afternoon and stop drinking Monster, you're making a difference in that person's life. Even if all you're doing is you got one person started on a 3-month free membership, you're still making a difference. So we're trying to find ways to recognize you for just the small wins, because it's those small things that add up daily over time to be huge. One of the very first books I ever listened to was called The Compound Effect, and that really got my mindset to understand it's not that I had to have huge wins, but I just had to do those little small things every single day, and that is what would add up big over time. So if you are finding, okay, I'm just, you showed up, every Thursday we do a celebration post because that's the new week. You find something to celebrate, even if it's being sarcastic and you're like having to make something up, you find something, because eventually it will turn into something good. Okay, Maybe just have like people that are showing up and they're committing, you know, whatever it is. Now, here's the fun part, Success Club. So we talked about this. Now, Success Club is when you help someone get started with a package. So every challenge pack and every completion pack, anything that basically ends in pack, you get 2 Success Club points for those. Your goal is to help at least 3 people start with one of those packs so that you will earn Success Club. There's Success Club 5, and then there's Success Club 10. We do have options where you can earn, like you'll see down here, it says the combo of HD products equaling 90, you get 1 point. So you could earn 5, but ultimately 3 people, you'll get 6, and then if you help at least 5 people, you'll get 10. There is a difference between the two based on customer leads, and we'll kind of talk about that in a second. But you need to do this, especially if you're a new coach, and I'm going to explain to you why. You're going to qualify for what's called Success Starters. But again, this is one of the ways that they do recognition, that they do rewards. And so that is your goal as a new coach, is to earn Success Club. So the ways you can do that is with the new challenge pack or completion packs. If somebody just buys Shakeology and they get it on the auto shipment, if they don't, they pay like $10 of shipping, and it's really something stupid. So always make sure they get it on auto ship, and then they can cancel it immediately after they order it if they don't want it. The performance stack is the recovery post-workout and then the energized pre-workout. Or if they order 3 boxes of Beach Bars, and I know at my house we go through 3 boxes a month. So you get 2 points for any of those things when someone signs up to order. Then if you are earning Success Club in your first 3 months as a coach, you're going to be what is called a Success Starter. You'll earn a free ticket to Coach Summit. You will also earn some points towards these Success Club trips. But then the cool thing is you get special recognition. You get early registration. You get these extra perks that you would not normally get otherwise. So it's just kind of a way to recognize your success. And then plus, I also give you guys special little cups. They're really cool. I mean, it might not seem like a lot, but you get a personalized special cup. But the free vacations also come with that. So not only do you earn a free ticket to our annual Coach Summit when you qualify for Success Starters, and it's actually a really, really big deal. But what really enticed me when we were getting started, because we didn't have that back then, was that I was told I could get my vacation paid for. And you guys, I worked at an airline and I could fly for free, but I didn't go anywhere because I didn't have the money. We didn't have money to stay anywhere. So unless we had someone that we were like staying at their house, we couldn't go. And then if we were there, I was like, shit, I can't buy the food for everybody for every meal while we're out. So we just basically didn't travel. So when I heard that I could go on this tropical vacation for me and a guest, and they were going to give me spending money, and all I had to do was help 5 people a month, I'm like, shit, that's easy. I mean, y'all giving me a free vacation to help 5 people? Like, I will do that. I didn't get anything else, but I knew if I helped 5 people a month, not only would I earn a complete free vacation, but I got spending money too. I don't know. I just feel like, what's wrong with anybody that doesn't want to do that? So for every Success Club point that you earn, you get 5 trip dollars. Then if you earn Success Club, that doubles, and so you'll earn $10. And again, this is for you and a guest. And if you want to take your 3 kids, you can take your 3 kids. Like, they allow for you to take your family. I mean, obviously you got to pay like for the children, but you can go. So really important, make sure you go. This is also in our announcement section. Make sure you go and you opt in if you're like, girl, I am on this. Like, I'm about to be on that trip. Melissa and Jennifer, I think they're both on here, just got off the wait list last month and qualified to go. They haven't even, I think, been a coach for a year, but they've been working and building. And so they take people based on the Success Club points so they get off the list faster. So if you're signing up now and you're like, no, I'm about to be there and I'm going to kill it. Well, register on here and then put the action with your intention, and then you'll get pulled off the list. So it's really, actually, it's so much fun. We have like the best time. Okay. So now what? What are you supposed to do? What's the next step that you need to do? Number 1 is committing to a boot camp start date. I don't care if you call it fit camp, boot camp, challenge group, whatever you call it. Nobody knows really what these are unless you explain it. So you commit to a start date, period. Now you can either host your own group, or you can team up with another coach and run a group together, or you can just have them join in a group with me that you're already in, and until you're ready and comfortable to start your own. Most of you are already in the Morning Meltdown 100 group, either mine or underneath one of your coaches that's running them. And so my suggestion would be, you've already started, so get them to commit to a start date to join with you. And it doesn't matter who's on what day, you're still in it together. But if you're like, oh, I fell off, I need to recommit, pick your day. But when you're running a challenge group, it doesn't matter what you're doing, you still need to pick a start date to run your own group. So let's say you're like on day 15, and you're like, oh my God, I love this, I want to run my own group. You can do it however you want, but you got to pick a day to start. And what I suggest is try to wait, give them about 2 weeks of talking about it. That gives you a week of interest of people like actually getting signed up, actually joining, and then you have a week of prep. And then I always have the late people. I guess it's because I'm always late, but I always have the late people trickling in, and it never matters. Like, I don't care when you start as long as you start. So pick a date to get started. And then know that even though you're a new coach, I just showed you all the tools that you have. You could be part of my group and literally copy and paste my posts for all I care. Like, it doesn't matter. You don't need a degree in coaching. You just need to lead. You just need to show up and be like, hey, here is my selfie. Here is my sweaty selfie. Where's yours? Here's my plate for the day. Where's yours? Get tips. Like, try to teach yourself things, and you'll be able to run this. And using those challenge group guides, there's no way that you can fail at that. And then knowing that your number one job is to show up and lead by example. So one of the things that I used to struggle with is I would do all the posting, and then I would forget to show up and be a challenger too. I would forget to show my workouts because I'm like, oh, everybody follows me. No, they don't. So I can't just expect you to know I worked out because I posted on my social media. I have to post it in the group just like I expect you to. So go through this little checklist, and you're going to say, okay, I'm going to pick a Monday as my start date. You know, maybe your schedule is a little bit different and you want to pick a Wednesday, that's fine, but pick a day. You could have a theme if you wanted to. So there's like back to school. You could do back to school, back to me. You could do like, you know, get fit for the skinny jeans, September, you know, whatever. So have a theme if you want to. Pick a program if you want to, but it's not required. I don't ever require people, they have to be doing it. I let them know, like, everybody else is going to be doing it. So yeah, you're going to want to be on it. But if they don't want to do it and they want to do 21-day fix, okay, well, cool. You'll just be doing another program. And again, 3 weeks prior, this is just a suggestion, start doing breadcrumb posts. So basically that's you really talking about why you love the group, talking about all the results that people are saying, talking about, you know, like, oh, look at all the people that have checked in, just different little things you can talk about. And then what you can say is, wow, I've decided to open up my own group. I'm going to help people get their own results just like the girls that are getting it now. You're going to put a start date and you're going to say, I'm looking for 5 women who want to join me to get results. And you see all of the screens that we probably do on our Instagram stories, print screen those. Ask us for a copy, whatever. But you don't have to use those. You can be just talking. You could just be basic typing. You don't have to do anything specific, but start inviting. And then a week prior, you're going to open the group up, and you're going to continue to talk about it even up until the point that you start, and then just do the last call, last reminder, and then you're going to do those FOMOs. Be like, all right, I got people plugged in. I just posted our meal plans. And again, we have all this. We have all the meal plans. So it's not like you're creating stuff. You just need to copy it, paste it, upload it to your group. So daily, you should be showing up. So my thing is, when people are like, well, what do you explain to them? Honestly, I don't explain much anymore because I talk so much about doing my at-home workout programs, about my nutrition plan. Like, everyone knows that I'm doing all of this already. So when it's like, I want to join in your group. Okay, cool. You know, we're doing this workout program. So you need the Beachbody On Demand. You're going to need your supplements, and then we're going to need to get you a package. So you just need to tell me which one you want. And literally, that's what I do. But I have been so consistent over the years that you have to understand that's how it is for me now. So you might have some people that don't get it. So that's why it's now your job to start explaining it. So the next time you log into Beachbody On Demand, show it. Show how you log in. Show how there's so many workout options. When you're making your shake, show how you're making it, how easy it is, or how you're running later, how it's saving you money. Show them so that they can understand, because you have to keep in mind, nobody knows what these terms are. Nobody knows what these things are. You have to pretend that you're always talking to somebody new and why this is so awesome and they need it in their life. And then making posts on Facebook and Instagram are totally different. On Facebook, do not use a stock photo. I think I have one coming up on the next ones, but I'll show you. Don't just use a stock photo of the B100 book. We do that as, you know, as we're doing like, you know, multiple ones, you might have a picture of it, but don't just put a picture of a workout program and be like, come join me. That's super salesy. try to find something that can get their attention drawn in. Try to find something that will make them stop the scroll and want to read. So as you can see, both of these are different kind of like scroll stopping posts that I have. But if you were to see this before and after transformation come up, it's going to make you want to read it. Okay, what is this about? How did she get it? Right? The other one, I'm just sitting there, and it might not make a difference, but it's how do you draw people in and be a storyteller? How are you able to connect with them in order for them to want to be part of this? Because a lot of times it's not about what you are selling. It's about the connection. It's about them relating to you. It's about you sharing how you cried in the dressing room. It's about you sharing how, oh my God, I went and tried on some new shorts today, and I can't believe they actually fit. Like, I'm here crying because I can't tell you the last time I felt good in a dressing room trying clothes on. You see what I'm saying? You want to try to find something to connect to people in the way that you have. Now, I think this is out of order because it sure looks like it, but when one of those sheets, when we were in the files, the forms and documents section, and this is that Success Club system daily activity tracker. So it gives you tools of what to do every single day and just suggestions. Now, this isn't saying you need to do this all at once. This is something that you can do in the power pockets of your day. So let's say you're going to work and you have like a 15-minute break. You can do some of this then. Let's say you're a stay-at-home mom and your kids are sitting down and they're actually eating lunch and they're quiet. Okay, well, you probably have 15 minutes. Let's say it's nap time. You could do this. If you're sitting in the pickup line to pick up from school, you could pick something out of this to do. Or let's say it's, you're about to sit, because when I get off with this and I put Devin to bed, I'm going to sit down and start watching The Bachelorette or The Bachelors in Paradise. But do you know what else I do? I do these actions while I'm watching it. Because do you know how easy it is to scroll through your Instagram at the same time and next thing you know, it's like an hour later? But when I do that, I do it with intention. I do it doing these things, making sure I have stories, making sure that I'm reaching out and connecting with new people. So this gives you just kind of like some little tips and things to do. And I know this is getting long, I'm so sorry. Okay, now, your first invites. So as a new coach and you're starting to connect to people, you're like, oh, I don't know what to say, I don't know what to do. So this is what we were talking about. Your goal is just to start conversations. It's not for you to start sending out some creepy messages to people. Like, you can totally do that if you feel comfortable, but that depends on your personality style and how confident you are. I don't like to just because I don't like to. And I'm not much of a cold invite person. However, this is where it is key, and I want you guys to understand this. If someone follows you, if someone likes on your picture, if someone comments on your page, if someone watches your story, you now are no longer cold inviting. That is now someone who is choosing to come follow you, that is coming into your storefront. And now you have the obligation and the ability to say, hey, how may I help you today? Do you see what I'm saying? Because now they've come to you. That's not someone you reached out to, right? So now you can just extend a message to them. Hey girl, thanks so much for following along in my stories. I think what I say is, thanks so much for following along in my stories. The fact that you haven't unfollowed me yet means a lot, LOL, like I make a joke. If there's anything more I can help you with, please don't ever hesitate to reach out, and that's it. And a lot of times people are like, oh my God, thanks. It just opens up the door for conversation. And that is what your job is. It's not to sell them something, it's to just talk to them. So your goal is to connect with 3 new people a day, or at least 20 new people a week. But if you're one of those that's like, girl, I need to quit my job, okay, then your numbers need to be more than that. So connecting with people could be conversations about anything. Maybe you have dogs, maybe you like fashion, maybe you like makeup, maybe you like Harry Potter, or maybe you're just like, oh, I miss Game of Thrones, and you want to find all the Game of Thrones people. Whatever it is, just find something to talk to people about. You're not reaching out to close them. You're just reaching out to open the door. And I will tell y'all, I have made some of the best friends through this opportunity and just from casual conversations, like talking about mixed girl hair, like hair products of what I'm using on my kids. And just, you start to make friendships with people. So when you're talking and you're actually starting to get into conversations, you want to be brief, you want to be excited, and you want to end every message with a call to action, basically meaning asking a question. Because when you end every conversation with a question, it's going to want to make people to actually respond back, because it's kind of just that natural intuitive thing, like, oh, they asked me, well, what do I think? Or how do I feel? Or, whatever that makes them want to respond back to you. And before we start to word vomit and tell them all the things that we have to fix them, find out what their needs are before that. So when someone says, hey, I'm ready to join your group, I'm like, cool, fill this form out because I'm going to send you over the package to get started. But tell me what got you interested. Why are you doing this? Like, what are your goals? So that way, as they're talking about it, if this really isn't for them, I can be like, okay, this would be a perfect package, but you really need to work on your nutrition based on what you're saying. So I'm going to suggest you do this and do this. Or, do you know what I'm saying? So it's being able to help them the most. And they're going to recognize and welcome objections as a part of the process. A lot of times you're going to hear I don't have the money, I don't have the time, oh, I don't want to be part of that, salesy stuff. I mean, I tell you, I've probably gotten every single objection you can think of. And most of the time, what it is just being uninformed. They just don't understand how it works. So understand that and take that as okay, game on. Now it's your job to overcome that objection. And a great thing to do is, as you're starting to hear these come in, use your Instagram stories or your posts as ways to overcome those objections prior to. So if you're hearing about the money all the time, like it's too expensive, really break it down. When you're working out and you get done with your workouts, you can say, it's crazy to think I spend $100 for an entire year of hundreds of workout programs when I used to spend this much every single month going to the gym. I can't believe how much money I'm saving and how much better results I'm getting. I mean, like, I'm just literally just made that up. But do you see what I'm saying? Like, you're overcoming that objection to someone's cost right up front. So yes, they're paying $160, but it's a year of workouts. It's a month of their food that they're getting. So when someone says, you can talk about your shakes and how they save you so much money. Because for me, I worked and I had to be there at 6 a.m. So I would go up to the cafe in my office and I would have them make me like egg white omelets. Well, that ended up being like $5.60 something every single day. Like, that adds up. And then if I wanted a drink or if I wanted hash browns, if I wanted something extra, it was going to be even more. So once I began drinking my shakes, I was like, man, I'm actually saving money. And that was huge for me. So talk about the ways and overcoming the objections during that, and just know that that's part of the process. And if you're not sure what to say, again, all those scripts that were in that file section of our team page, feel free to use those. But what I highly, highly want you to suggest is do a voice to text. Like, read what it says, and then do a voice to text so that it's in your words. Because people, if they follow you, they know how you talk. And then if you started posting something that I said and they're like, you don't use words like that, they're going to know it's a copy and paste. So read through it and be like, okay, I'm going to say this, and you say it as though you're actually saying it so that when they read it, it sounds like you're actually speaking to them. And then your goal is to follow up forever. Because I have people that will still come to me that probably talked to me 3-4 years ago, and then they'll jump back on and be like, okay, I'm ready to get started finally. I've been following you forever and now I'm ready. Or there's people that keep saying they want to start over and over and over. And so I will go through my list and just be like, hey girls, just want to check in. How are things going? And it's literally just that simple. So always know that you got to follow up. And I believe the statistic is like you have to do it like 7 or 8 times before someone actually will go follow through. And again, don't be afraid of the cost. Understand how amazing of a value this is. I will drop $160 to buy a pair of sneakers. But then when we want to go spend that on our health and like something that's good for us, we're like, oh, I don't know. So remember that. Like, do you know how quickly you can spend $232 at Target? Yeah, that was me pretty much all the time. Like, you just buy random shit. So it's like, be intentional. And when they're like, I can't afford it, be like, how much did you spend at Target the last time you went? Did you need all those things? Do you need to buy all the water bottles every day? Do you need to spend $6 on your Starbucks every time you go? Like, it's being intentional on what you're spending. So I'll go on a whole rant about that another day. And don't send them links right away. That's what I was talking about. Find out what they need. And then once they're ready, you're going to create that share cart to send out to them. And this is one, don't show up and throw up. I used to be the worst. Someone would be like, oh, I want to join your group. And then I would be like, oh, here's what it is. Here's how it works. Here's when it starts. I can't wait for you to join. Oh my God, it's so amazing. And I would tell them all these things and they'd be like, whoa, girl, like, that's a lot. So shorter conversations, asking more questions, getting to know them will make all the difference. Okay, I'm trying to see how many more we got. You guys, I'm sorry I talked so long. So again, sharing your journey on social media, yours is not going to be the same as someone else's. So yes, you're a coach, but remember that is not all you are. You are sharing your life, your, quirks, the things that you love. So our top coach, Ashley Molstead, who is part of our team, it's like it's basically like your aunt coach. She built her business based on drinking, based on partying, based on having a good time, but knowing that she could have fit health and fitness into it. Then you see Heather, like she loves to bake. She's a mom, so you see all the things that she shares. And then here I am, I talk a lot about fashion, a lot about makeup, about kids. So we all have different things that we share about, but it's ultimately, what is it that we connect with? And it's outside of just fitness, like who are you? Do you love to knit? Like I was in Hobby Lobby earlier today and I mentioned about I wanted to make one of those really big blankets. Like, like you ever see all over Pinterest, like the people with the cute, like really thick ones. And Danielle's like, oh, I make those. You guys, I used to DIY everything. Like, I love it. I'm such a nerd. I would sit there and like my kids would make yarn hats for Christmas because, back then that's all we could afford. But if I could do that more, I would talk more about that in my stories. I just don't have time to do it. So if you're like DIY queen, if you're like restoration, everything, if you're like thrift shopper, that's your thing. Talk about what your things are. You are not a fitness professional. This is just now part of your life. If you had a kid, you're not just going to be like, I'm a professional mom. You're still the same person that you were, but we allow that to take over. So don't allow being a coach to take over your page because you're still you. And sometimes it's really hard figuring that out when all we've known is just being a parent. So figure out 5 things that get you excited. Dogs, shopping, Target, pizza, wine night, whatever it is, figure out at least 5 things and let those things be what you're consistently talking about other than Beachbody, okay? And this is the same of the way that success happens with our fitness journey as compared with our business journey. It's not going to happen overnight. We do see people who have really quick success, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen for you that way. Everyone is different, so you can't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 11. Maybe they were a challenger for a really long time. Maybe they were consistent on posting on social media, doing their own workouts. And then you come in and you're like, but they just signed up all these people and I'm struggling. So you cannot compare yourself and know that it's not going to happen overnight. You didn't gain 50 pounds in 2 weeks. You're not going to lose 50 pounds in 2 weeks, right? So it's the same with our business. You have to also track it to see your results. So that business activity tracker, be using that, writing names down, some way to track what you're doing to say, am I really doing these actionable items? I thought I have a thing in here. These actionable items every single day to get me towards the results that I want. I was trying to find my, I have a little notebook that I keep. I guess it's in the room that does that. Okay. And just know as soon as you stop, the results are going to get further away. When you quit on your program, when you go out, on a week of binging that turns into a month, you're not going to see results. You're going to lose that. That's going to be the same as your business. So you want to make sure you're showing up. You guys, I've showed up every single day for the last 7 years. Through my father passing away, through divorce, through, sickness, I've showed up in some way every single day. So you want to make sure that you do that. It's not necessarily business every day, but I show up so people at least know that I'm there. They know that my store and my door is always open. Now, this kind of started with the first thing. Comparison is the thief of joy. Don't compare yourself to someone else. Remember, again, it's not going to happen overnight. What you're doing is what you're doing, focusing on you. Keep your head down. Now, look at other people to learn from them, but don't do it to compare yourself. And it's really hard to not get caught up in that, and I still do that from time to time. But know that if you start to compare yourself, you're going to find all the things that you're not doing that they are, and vice versa. So stay in your lane, focus on you, focus on those top things that we said, like being a product of the product, doing your personal development, all of those things, and you won't venture off that road to comparison. And then don't overcomplicate this. This was a long call, longer than normal. I don't know what I kept talking about to make it go over. There is so much information. There is so much training. But you guys, this is so simple. We show up and we do our workouts. We show up and we drink our shakes. We just try to be a better version of ourselves than we were the day before. And we just share that with other people and ask them to do it with us. It's that simple. And you do that over and over and over again. Okay? And with anything, it works if you do. If you want to kind of sort of get results, you're going to kind of sort of show up. But if you want it to work, you're going to work it and you're going to make it happen. And you can do it, because I know if I could do this, anyone can do this. I didn't make training videos for like the first 2 years. So don't think that you have to be perfect overnight, because that's not what we're saying. We're just saying to show up. And I'm going to go through these really quickly. I'm so sorry it's running late, but stay with me. Your second goal as a coach is to get your ranks. First one is Emerald, and that is you plus 2 other coaches. So that is your husband, your best friend, your sister. Like if you've got a group of besties and you're all in a group thread, send them a message and be like, bitches, y'all sign it up tonight. Who's going to be the first one? Because that's how I talk to my friends. So I'm just going to be honest. And when one person gets on a little like kick of, this is what I'm doing, everyone jumps in. So you're going to go in there, you're going to be like, all right, this is what I'm doing. Who's doing this with me? Right? So that's what you're going to do. Your mom will buy dirt from you. So tell mommy, I need you to do this with me. Just follow the nutrition plan. If they're really old, like my mom is really, she'll be 70 this year, but she drinks her shakes. They love the bars. Like she supports it in different ways. And if you're trying to build this as a business, you're going to sign your spouse up. Be like, hey boo, you're a coach. Yay. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to get them signed up, but you don't need to sign them up until you already have somebody else. And then we'll work on what the best option for you to do, because there's a lot of different options. I know little hacks to help you save money to do the best that's for you. Next rank is Ruby. People basically skip this. So we're not going to really talk about that much. Your goal is to get to Diamond. That is you and 12 people. I know y'all know 12 people that need to change your life. So we're going to work on helping you get there. What the 12 people are is you have 4 on your left, 4 on your right, and then one of those people on your left have their own 2 coaches. So the cool thing about having your best friends do this, or your husband, is that you can add people underneath them. It's still part of the team. It's still going to work, and that's how you're going to grow and get to Diamond. So your goal is to get to Diamond, and then we'll start building you to be a strong Diamond and an income producing Diamond. So your goal is to get there first, because then the next goal that we focus on is getting those 2 little Emerald people, doesn't matter which people, but 2 of those Emerald people to become Diamond, because the real income comes when you get to 2-star. And we'll talk about a lot of that stuff tomorrow. So the goal generally when you sign up as a coach is to get to Emerald rank in your first 7 days, because this helps in multiple reasons that we'll talk about tomorrow. But start thinking about now, like who are my first 2 going to be? And again, we kind of talked about this. Don't put up that. This was a post that I made, and I think one person liked it, and I'm pretty positive that it was me. So this screams salesy, buy something from me. But if you see below, this is a scroll stopping post. Take pictures. I say this all the time. I don't care if you don't like where you're at right now, you take a picture, because you're not going to be there that long. You're going to get out of that, and then you're going to look back and be like, God, I wish I would have had a good comparison picture. You're going to thank me. You don't have to post it now, but you got to take it. Because what's going to happen is you're going to get to a point to say, I'm going to inspire someone through my journey. Through all the things and hard things I've gone through, someone is going to use me as their lighthouse. And so that's basically what this is. You want to put up a post that is personalized, that's eye-catching, that shares your journey and tells a story and inspires people to join you. So if you were to actually read this, like I think it was talking about how I tried like a bathing suit on, and I cried in the dressing room, and I didn't realize I'd gotten that big, and just how much work I'd put in, just where I was at that point. Okay. Now, let's talk about income really quickly. As you know, as you probably know, I was an accountant before I did this. So once I heard the income opportunity from this, I was like, shoot, I will never in my life make that as an accountant. So let me see what this can do. Now, this is just an example of how you could make $800 in the next 3 months by helping only 3 people per month. Crazy, right? Now let's talk about that compound effect. If you're like, girl, I need more than that, okay, then you need to help more people. That's just basic math, right? So the first month when someone joins, remember I said, hey, you're going to get a $50 kickback. You're going to get a $50 cash back. You're going to get a $50 referral fee. However you want to word it, you're getting commission off of that sale. You get $50 for a $160 challenge pack. You're going to get $50 back. Your goal is Success Club. So you're going to help at least 3 people. So you're going to get $150. Now this is if you're just signing all new customers. Month 2, you're going to do the same thing. Your goal is to help 3 people get started. You're going to earn $150 if they just order that base $160 challenge pack. If they get the Jericho pack that's like 200, you're going to get like a $70 commission. The higher the packs, the more commission you make. And then the cool part is this residual income. So this is where the people from month 1 want to reorder their shakes. So if they're going to pay the full price, you're going to get a commission, a 25% commission off of those 3 people, and that would be $96. Now in month 2, you've made $246. What would that do for you? For me, that was huge, huge. Okay, so let's go to month 3. What is your goal? 3 people, right? So you get those 3 people started, and you made $150. But now you have the 3 people from month 1 reordering their shakes. The 3 people from month 2, again, reordering their shakes. So now that month, from the residual income from the Shakeology commission, plus the new customers, you made $396. So total over those 3 months, just from helping 3 people, you earned $800 commission. Crazy, right? That is where the compound effect will add up. And this doesn't include, let's say they're drinking Energize, let's say they're getting bars. This is, you earn the commission off of customers and everything that they order. What would that do for you? I know for me, I was struggling to put money on my kids' lunch accounts. I had to buy football uniforms, back to school, Christmas was coming up, like all these things. And then there was Target. I was like, oh my God, I can go and buy anything I want from the dollar bin and I don't feel guilty. So for me, that was a big thing, like just to be able, because I just love, I like to shop. So for me, it was an amazing feeling just to be able to have that freedom to be able to do that. All right, so now we're through this. And you're like, all right, what do I do now? That was a lot, I'm overwhelmed. So what you're gonna start doing is making sure that you're going through the New Coach University if you haven't started that already. You're gonna commit to yourself. If you haven't committed already, you're gonna be like, all right, tomorrow I'm showing up. I don't like to wake up early, but I'm doing it anyways. I don't like to do my workouts, but it's the only way I'm gonna make it work. You're creating habits and you're gonna create results. You're gonna begin sharing your journey and inviting people to join you. And yes, that means that you have to make stories. That means that you have to make posts. That means that you need to be intentional on the things that you're doing. And a lot of times you might get kind of like little comments and things from people like, oh, you gotta take a picture of your food first? Yeah, bitch, I do. That's what I tell people. I'm like, okay, and they're used to it now. They're like, oh, let's set it up real cute because you got to take your picture. Yes, I do. And they know that I'm creating an income off of this. And the cool thing is that now kind of social influencing is a legitimate business, so much so that the IRS has created like this whole new department trying to figure out how to do this. So you can say, I'm an influencer. I need to share my life, and it's fine. But remember that the opinions of others are not paying your bills. So if they want to make fun of you for taking pictures because you're trying to change your life and help someone else change theirs and get paid for it, then let them do that, okay? Because they'll regret it. They'll ask you what you're doing later and want to join you at some point. Trust. All right. Your other goal is to figure out what personal development you're going to do. If you don't have something already, then you need to make sure you order the Slight Edge and then you join in that group with us. If you're like, I need to focus on confidence, I need to focus on this, then we're going to go through and figure out what book you need to do. But you need to find something. And then don't get overwhelmed. Again, just take this one day at a time, one conversation at a time, one goal at a time, and have fun doing this. If you're showing up for you, if you're showing up because you want results, if you're showing up because you love this and you have a passion just for like your own journey, it's going to naturally rub off on people and they're going to want to be part of it and they're going to want to join you and they're going to want to be like, what are you doing? I want a piece of that. So that's it. Make sure we're going to register you for earn your free ticket and get you going for Summit. And we're going to get you all the success that you can have. So I know there was probably a lot of questions. And again, I'm so sorry for you guys being late, but for this running late, but I hope that this was really helpful. And I hope your kids weren't like, ooh, mom, she's cussing. So I love Jesus, but I do cuss a little. I'm trying to read this. I started my business in May and now starting this. Would it be safe to try to combine or is that too much? I think it would depend on what the business is. But if you had, so for example, I have people that'll say, I used to do It Works, or I used to do whatever the keto company is, and now I'm coming in and doing this. I don't want them to think I'm going back and forth. You share your heart. You share why you aren't doing that thing anymore and why you're doing this now. You're going to share why that thing didn't work for you before and why you believe in this now. because people appreciate that honesty. Danielle said I'm overwhelmed. Yeah, it's okay. There's days when I still feel that way. But again, if you go down to the basics of just saying, I'm showing up and I'm doing the basics. I'm doing my workouts. I'm drinking my shakes. I'm sharing them. And I'm just interacting with people on Facebook. On Instagram. You go through and you find the people that you like. That is business building activities. You have to let your family sit them down and be like, I know that I'm going to look like I'm on my phone, but part of my job now is to create relationships. If you have a teenager, pay them for you to do that. All they have to do is go and like on people's pictures and comment and be like, oh girl, that is so cute. It's seriously that simple. But let them know that, you're on here, you're building it for a reason. And if you can do just those little simple activities, it makes it not feel so overwhelming, because these are things that you're going to do anyways, right? And all the rest of the business things are going to come in time. Okay, I'm trying to read through, make sure we didn't miss anything. Okay, the leads. Yeah, so we're going to talk about the leads tomorrow. So when you earn Success Club 5, you get free leads, which is when someone signs up just for a free account. So they haven't actually bought anything. They just maybe want to be a member of the Beachbody blog. They want to try a free trial. They'll get assigned to you. But so then anything they order afterwards, you'll get commission from that. But if you earn Success Club 10 and you're an Emerald Coach, you will get the paid leads. So that's somebody who's like, they saw an infomercial, or maybe they had a friend that was doing Morning Meltdown and didn't invite them, or they just are following somebody and that person never said, come join me, let's talk about it. They're going to go Google it and they're going to go sign up and buy it themselves. So that's why you always have an invitation. Hey, come do this with me. Hit me up if you ever want to join. Do you ever need a connection? So you will get the the paid customers from the people that order on their own that don't already have a coach assigned. And we'll talk about tomorrow. You can see you can earn sometimes an extra $300 a month. Like, it can add up depending on the month. So, do you guys have any other questions? You can unmute yourself if you do. I'm going to try to get off. I'm so sorry this went so long. Okay, and Melissa was saying she's not sure if she's going to be able to go on the trip. So don't cancel. If you guys get off the waiting list for whatever reason and you register, you can transfer these to other people. So don't just decline it. Give it to somebody that'll be on our team. All they do is they just pay you for what you've already paid in. And then y'all can go. So I just wanted to make sure I said that. Okay. Anything else? Do you guys have any other questions? Was it helpful? Okay. I'm going to take a picture real quick because I forgot. People are jumping off. So get your little smiley faces on. My phone's dirty. Cheese. And I don't have everybody's little Instagram, so just print screen my picture and then you can repost it, or I'll post it in our coach page. But I hope this was helpful. I know this was a lot. You might need to rewatch it. But again, you don't have to know everything all at once. I still learn things. I still don't know things. There's some days I'm like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I will make up a challenge group and be like, okay, we're starting it next week because I need to do one. You don't have to be organized. You don't have to have your shit together. You don't have to be professional, but you have to show up and you have to be you, and you have to be consistent with that. And so that is what I love about this business, is that it's possible for anyone. It's possible for the most organized, the people that love to make perfect graphics. And it's also possible for the people that are just a freaking hot mess all the time, because there's going to be someone out there that is just like you, that connects with you the way that you are, that needs your help. So don't feel like you need to change any of the way that you are. You build this business just that way. And you, for whatever reason, connected with me, you connected with your coach because of something. And just remember that whatever you're doing, someone is going to connect with you. They're going to want to know how you do it having kids. How do you do it working full time? How do you meal prep? I used to watch YouTube videos on just how to grocery shop because I honestly didn't know. So the more that you can share the little things that you do in your day, the more that can help someone else just to figure out what to do. And they're going to say, okay, if she's showing up, she's doing her workout, if she's able to do this with everything she has going on, I know I can do it too. And I want to do it with her. And that is truly how the connection happens and how the belief will happen in people. And they'll just say, okay, how do I sign up for this thing to do? I know that it works. So.
Mom, why the chair is wet?
I heard someone talking. Okay, so I'm gonna let you guys go, get back to your night. So thank you for jumping on. I hope this was helpful. Come back tomorrow night to listen to that Emerald call if you can. I promise it'll be worth it. It'll teach you, will really get you going to get to that first rank. We'll be able to shout you out on Thursday and get you going for success for the month. So y'all have a great night.